Hello Internet, this is Tom Rowe with 411 Vids, and today I want to do a short tutorial on Adobe Audition 2019. That's CC 2019 from the Creative Cloud, and it could be very useful for looking at audio that has a lot of background noise, and I'm going to show you how to quickly remove that background noise. My focus today is on some Apollo 11 footage that I want to clean up so that I can hear what they're saying, because there is so much ambient noise it's almost impossible to make out the actual human dialogue that's going on in the recording. So I want to see if I can clean that up. At the end I'm going to show you a before and after so that you could see how that has improved the ability for you to detect what is actually being said in a very noisy clip of audio. And in the description below I'm going to include links so that you can get the audio and other audio from the landing on the moon, and you can pull that audio and play with it yourself. If you don't mind, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications bell so that you can get updates when I upload new videos. Alright, I appreciate that. It would really help me. This is the Apollo 11 program, and it's basically at airanspace.si.edu, and you can read over the events that took place during the Apollo 11 mission. But I found a better link, I think, for audio resources that I'm looking at right here, and this is this is the archive at archive.org of the Apollo 11 audio. It could be very cool to explore this resource. So as I scroll through this, you could see there's a whole lot of content here. I'm going to get the very first audio file, and to do that I could listen to it here, and if I as you can see, that is a lot of noise. Wow. It's really terrible. Oh my gosh. So, you know, it's not very useful in its current state. I'm going to go down here in this list. I'm going to hit the wave link, and there is the very first file right there. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And as you could see, it's actually opened it up in another tab, which isn't very helpful. But if you click this three-dot menu here, you can hit download and then choose a place where that's going to download to. Now I already have that file. So what I'm going to do is open Adobe Audition. I'm going to minimize that, and then I'm going to go ahead and open Premiere. So in Premiere I'm going to start a new project, navigate to my project folder. We'll use that one. Okay, here I am in Premiere, and let's full screen that. I'm going to switch this to just the desktop so that you can see everything that's going on here. And now if we look, I need to import some media, so I'll do that. I'm going to grab that WAV file, and let's go ahead and drag that over here. Okay, so I have my project started, and I can scroll through this. There's a whole lot going on there. Let me look at the end of the file. So I hear some conversation.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you dripped this down.
Okay, so that is pretty horrible. But if so, now we've got some background ambience there that I'd like to get rid of, and that's probably in here as well. Okay. And there we got some. So I'm going to cut this about right here. I use C as a shortcut. And then I'm going to choose V, select that, and then Shift Delete to basically remove all of that at the beginning. And this will shorten the amount of time that it takes for this to process in Adobe Audition. So let me go to the end real quick, and I will go ahead and remove the end of that. And now I have this audio file. Now I'm going to right click my second track, and then I'm going to edit clip in Adobe Audition. Okay, so here it is in Adobe Audition. Okay, so this isn't very hard at all. I'm going to control mouse wheel so that I can zoom in a little bit, and then I'm going to drag this area of interest over to this area. Now in Adobe Audition you can do noise reduction in a lot of different ways. I'm just going to show you a way that I like to do it because it's quick and dirty. I'm going to select an area that I think has a lot of noise in it. Now as you can hear, that's a very consistent sound. Alright, so I don't need that to be over my audio. So I'm going to use Effects, Noise Reduction, Capture Noise Print, and as you can see, that is a Shift P hotkey, and Noise Reduction Process is a Control Shift P. But I'll just select it in the menu for now. So now I've captured that noise print, okay? And now I'm going to click somewhere so that I'm not selecting an area, because I want this to apply the filtration to the entire clip, not just the part that's selected. So I could go Effects, Noise Print. Notice that Capture Noise Print is ghosted now because I've already captured one. If I wanted to capture a different one, I could select an area and then go Effects, and now it's back, see? But if I don't capture it, if I don't select an area, it assumes that I want to use the print that's already been captured. So I'm going to hit Control Shift P, and now I'm going to hit my spacebar so I can play. You'll notice that's really reduced. If I turn this off, turn it back on again. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I'm not going to be able to remove all the noise in one pass. So that is the amount of noise that I can remove. And I could increase the amount of reduction. I could do this noise reduction percentage and change that as well. But I'm going to leave it to the default settings, because sometimes it's better to do multiple passes on a thing like this. That way you don't destroy the good audio that you want to keep. So I'm just going to leave the defaults. You could tweak this as you like and hit Apply. Now it's going to take it a few seconds to get through this. Okay, and as you can see, the that noisy waveform that was in here has dropped dramatically. Okay, so now when I play this, it's way quieter.
I guess I'm gonna have to start on the panel again.
Okay, so now let's just focus on this area.
I guess I'm gonna have to start on the panel again.
Alright, so we've still got a lot of noise in there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and select a portion. If you select too little, then it won't be able to capture a good noise print. So you just got to have enough. I'm not exactly sure how much that is. But if I select too small an area and hit Shift P, you'll see it gives me an error there. So it's going to need a little more to work with. That's a pretty consistent amount of sound that's repeatable. Okay, so if it finds that sound throughout this clip, it's going to remove it. So I'm going to hit Shift P on this. It doesn't complain, so I know I've caught it. I'm going to hit Control Shift P now, And let's listen.
I guess I'm gonna have to. 2 heaters, 1 and 2.
Now if I hit output noise only, you can hear what's being removed. This is just, you want to deselect that unless you want to just grab the noise, which is something you might want to do. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. I'm going to make sure that I don't have a portion selected, because if I hit apply, then it will only apply the filter to the part that's selected. So I'm going to click somewhere to remove my selection and then hit apply. You could see that that waveform went down just a little bit. So let's test it.
Potable H2O, water heater.
So that is already getting a lot better. Now let's go over here to the end, because this is the part that I'm mostly interested in. And we look at this, and man, that looks bad. Okay, I want to hear what's going on here, so let's try it. Okay, so that is awful. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit right here. Okay, we'll do Shift P to capture the print. Deselect and hit Control Shift P to do the noise reduction effect. And let's play.
How long do we want to run this film? How long do we want to run this film?
Okay, without
How long do we want to run this film?
and with.
How long do we want to run this film?
Okay, so that's not all of it, but it does help. So I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. Alright, you can see it did reduce it quite a bit.
How long do we want to run this film?
Okay.
How long do we want to run this film?
Okay, so there's some more frequency in there that we want to get rid of. So let's do another print, or capture. And then we've got the noise print. Now Control Shift P.
How long do we want to run this film? How long do we want to run this film? How long do we want to run this film?
Let's apply. I'm going to speed up the apply noise reduction. It takes a little longer than that to process, but I want to keep this as short as possible. So let's test it again.
How long do we want to run this film?
Okay. Let's do another noise print capture. Control Shift P.
How long do we want to run this film?
Okay.
How long do we want to run this film? We'll do that, fine. Fine.
Now if you remember, this audio right here was buried inside of that noise.
Okay, you got 100.4 now. Yeah, I know those numbers don't mean anything. They were 99 something when we turned around. Don't ask me why.
Shift P. Control Shift P.
Turned around. Don't ask me why.
Hit apply.
Don't ask me why.
Okay, there's still some noise. There's still some noise in there, but I think we've done a pretty good job of reducing it. So let me zoom way out here. Now you can remember how noisy this waveform was when I started. So let's go to Rack Effect, Fft Filter, and we'll pull down the presets and go to de-esser. Let's try that.
Flies like a spacecraft instead of a simulator.
Doesn't seem to be
Flies
doing
like a
very much.
spacecraft instead of a simulator. Flies like a spacecraft instead of a simulator.
That's a little better.
Flies like a spacecraft instead of a simulator.
So I'm going to zoom out, look at my whole file here.
Well, this is Houston. You are draw at 5 left.
So that sounds way better. So
It's a little bit volatile.
now we do have an issue where there's low and high, and so I need to see if I can equalize that. Let's go Dynamics Processing.
I checked it, it's locked in there pretty wrong. Yeah, 3 feet per second under 1 feet.
Okay, so this is pretty good. Let me go ahead and apply this processing here before I do. So we'll apply that. Okay, so now the effects have been applied, and I'm going to close this file and then just say yes. Now we go back over to Premiere. Okay, so of course I used this is the extracted file on both lines, and I can't really do a comparison there, so I'm going to go ahead and delete. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, and then I've gone back to my original WAV file here, and I've selected an area of that, and I'm just going to drag that waveform down and drop it here, and now I'm going to line these up. Let me zoom in and then line them up. Okay, so those, as you can see, are pretty well lined up, and you can see that the audio at the end of this one is noisy, and this audio is not noisy, but I've secured the content that I'm looking for, which is that audio file right there. So let me do a quick review of the quality difference, and that will be the end of this tutorial.
No doubt about that.
Before, after. So as you can see, that concludes the tutorial, and it's pretty easy to remove a lot of background noise from audio, especially audio from the 60s. Really horrible audio. So you can do a lot with Adobe Audition, and I know there are probably some free applications out there that have noise print capture and noise reduction as well, and you can test some of those out. But it can be incredibly helpful for clarifying some audio that you just can't understand, and you can see that the results are dramatic. So I'll let that play a little bit at the end of this video, and you have an awesome week. Catch you later.
Flies like a spacecraft instead of a simulator. Flies like a spacecraft instead of a simulator. Beautiful. They really look nice, doesn't it? They were closing in a leisurely fashion. Beautiful. They really look nice, doesn't it? They were closing in a leisurely fashion.